Now, Eskom is not the only entity in debt. Municipalities such as Tshwane have also lost millions of rands in revenue due to load shedding. So what needs to be done? For those answers, let's chat now to Thembi Nkadimeng, the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Minister, very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Many challenges, and of course, all the challenges want some sort of accountability and solutions. What is your reaction?
Thank you very much, Mpo, and good afternoon to the viewers. You are very much correct. Municipalities have been experiencing quite a lot of difficulties, like all South Africans, business and everybody combined, due to the effect of load shedding. But there is measures that the Minister of Electricity, the Minister of Minerals and Energy and National Treasury that have put in place to bring some relief. One, you will recall the Minister of Finance, Minister Kodongwane, addressed the country and offer a relief package which municipalities will have to apply for, which is sort of a buffer in terms of trying to assist them to be able to cover on some of the debts that the communities can't pay because of load shedding, which led to a loss of jobs and all quite that. For example, I was in Mpumalanga in the past 2 weeks. 10 municipalities that are qualifying for such relief have already applied. 6 of them have already been approved, which means there will be mechanisms that they will be receiving finances, rebates from National Treasury to cover for the losses that we are having. But on our hand as Cogta as well, we are aligning or allowing municipalities to realign their infrastructure grant, which it comes to ensuring that they could be able to repair the infrastructure that does get damaged when there are power cuts, which happens in some instances due to load shedding, but also in some instances due to illegal connections. Not all the power loss that is at the municipal spaces as a loss of load shedding. On the summer, as municipalities are surpassing their NMD, which is the nominal demand ratio that is given by Eskom on how much you could be able to get at a particular case because of informal settlement, illegal connections, a number of people because of migration and all that. So it covers all the areas which are trying to be, but we can't overemphasize a message to our communities that they need to love their own assets. They need to have a buy-in in ensuring that the power, the assets, and the infrastructure that municipalities and government as a whole put is not meant necessarily for government, but is meant to service us.
There are also, the failure of municipalities to protect their assets. I mean, you speak about vandalism. What are the big challenges there? What are the loopholes when it comes to ensuring that assets are indeed protected?
Look, it goes beyond really a failure. Let's look into a township where you come from, wherever it could be, a rural area. How many substations are there? So let's say a municipality would want to hire a security guard for each and every substation. Between a substation, there is a network that goes underground of cable. So would you put security following each and every cable to a substation? It's physically and practically impossible. So what does that mean? It means jointly, me and you and in the community, the municipality, government, the police, law enforcement agencies must partner in ensuring that we take care of what we have. The same with water infrastructure. If you look into municipalities in rural areas that rely on underground water, for example, what we commonly call boreholes, to supply water, you will find in one municipality they've got over 110 boreholes. You can't safely secure. There are measures like tracking devices and whatever which you could enhance, but you can't put a tracker wholly on a cable network. In specific and strategic areas you do, but you do find that this crime is mostly about syndicates. It's very difficult for you and me to go and dig. We won't even know where we're going to sell it for starters. We won't even know which part we're supposed to touch, which will not impact on us negatively, as energy could be live, even in some instances when they have been switched off. But it's a sophisticated, and there are cases jointly of Eskom and municipalities, Minister of Electricity, that we have been pulling in ensuring that we curb the disaster that comes with the infrastructure and particularly in terms of ensuring that we secure. But physically, and I mean, I've been receiving requests from communities which says physically secure, allow municipalities increase their budget. It is not possible to do that. Which means
how much
we need to
technical support are you rolling out, Minister, to support municipalities?
I'm not very certain, Mpo, when you say technical support, what do you mean?
In terms of deploying engineers.
Oh, okay. No. We have currently 320 engineers which are deployed variously in the various built industries. Some municipalities have got problems with architects. Some have got a problem with engineers. But I must appreciate that it's increasingly becoming difficult. In fact, there is a study that has been undertaken by Engineering South Africa to even compare how many engineers are prepared to work in a public space versus a public space. We are increasingly relying on technicians to do that. But on top of that, we also afford municipalities bursaries to upgrade their locals to ensure that they build a capacity that is localized, which could be able to help them on a constant basis. You also have LGC, which throws in from our skills development levy in training the current employees of municipalities. Those are which are within the technical divisions to be able to up their skill. So it's a multifaceted approach. But physically, as a department, we have got what we call a municipal support improvement packages. And in those packages, there's various number of support that we have. For example, this afternoon, just before you, I was signing a partnership with Tshwane, still water mines, which are going to be building capacity in areas where they are mining in. And they will be bringing also technical staff. We have partnership with the University of Cape Town, where we are training also our young people on behalf of municipalities. About 100 of them have been enrolled just this financial year to ensure that we build that capacity. But it can never be enough.
Yeah, absolutely. With Eskom saying that it's concerned about the money owed to it by Tshwane and Ekurhuleni, the municipalities have come back to say, well, we owe you money, yes, but the costs and the impact of load shedding is absolutely detrimental. Which municipalities have been approved by Treasury for rebates?
Well, I may not have all of them. I'm just recalling the ones I have topically in my head, because I've been engaging. But this is open to all local and metros, which means it will be around 205 municipalities. I may have to verify my records, how far are we, but municipalities are taking that offer. But secondly, you will recall that the Department of Minerals and Energy has said we give the license and power to municipalities to get into a space of green economy, to get independent power producers, to be able to get off 100% or nominally in the from the grid. So, which means we also, as municipalities, of course, Cogta taking a lead, and we have a stream which is trying to assist municipalities into generating those plans so that we could be able to apply for that grant funding from Minerals and Energy to ensure that we apply and start. Municipalities like Stellenbosch have already raised their hands. I was a mayor in Polokwane. I had started that process for power storage in our landfill to add into the grid so that we also sell at a cheaper rate. Eskom sells in peak and off-peak, as you guys of media will know it very well. Adverts are expensive at a particular time and much lesser at a particular time. So peak of Eskom is relatively the same, with the same model and that we are utilizing. In the morning to early evening, it is when people return from work and school, the rate is at around R1.87. Almost possibly could be beyond that. I'm no longer a mayor and I don't look at them on a day-to-day basis. But what we need to do is to follow the holistic strategy. You develop the capacity, you try and do your savings where you can, you apply for the grants that are there, you roll out all sphere. I mean, the sun is in abundance. Today in Johannesburg, where you are, it's about 31 degrees. Yeah. So we could be generating free power for the city of Johannesburg or Tshwane, where I am. As I'm sitting here, it's warm. We should be looking into all those initiatives. But I emphasize what the municipalities are saying. the disruptions are coming at a cost. Not only in terms of payment, even a cost of them offering the services. If there's no power, the wastewater treatment plant doesn't work. They can't pump water sufficiently to you. We have encouraged that. We now have a model assisted by the Minister of Electricity, which could be able to convert partially our plants to be able to work on solar. And we're saying municipalities must grab that opportunity in terms of the INEC program, which is the National Electrification Program, which is a grant funded by Minerals and Energy, specifically for municipalities to roll out infrastructure, but also to connect households. And that grant now has been allowed also to be able to look into areas of upgrade of infrastructure. And this is where the impact of load shedding can be minimized by municipalities.
And in terms of timeframes, I mean, what are you looking at this is a very pressing matter. Of course, the impact is massive, and we're seeing it every day, especially looking at some of the increases that we're experiencing, the fuel price, the economy, the state of the economy not looking good. This is an urgent matter. It's a crisis. What are the timeframes that are being set out?
Well, we have encouraged the municipalities that at the end of October, November, they should, at least all of us should have applied that needs the assistance of that grant. Governor Mbeki, for example, in Secunda, they've already done that. Tabachwewu in New Leidenberg area, they've already done that. I know Rustenburg is wrapping up on some of those. The Deputy Minister was in the Free State, about 6 municipalities. The other week I was in the Northern Cape, about 11 of their locals had actually given them a deadline of the 15th of October. We're trying to ramp up everything. It may not be holistically all in all the approaches, but we are on the ground assisting municipalities, giving the technicians the specification on what we need them to be able to assist municipalities so that they meet the requirements of all the market and the menu that I've said is available from the Minister of Electricity, Minerals and Energy, our grant as a Cogta, but also the space that municipalities have a right to operate in themselves individually, to take their own decision and accelerate where they can be able to do that. So we're looking at ensuring that at least towards the end of the year, from a paperwork point of view, we should have concluded that process.
Very well. Thank you for that update. Some solutions, as Eskom is not the only entity in debt. Municipalities like Tshwane and others have lost millions of rands in revenue because of load shedding. Speaking there to Thembi Nkadimeng, the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs.